So let's talk Zen. I'm here with the famous, infamous Rob G in hardcore. This guy is a legend, not only here in the United States, but also international, all through Holland and Amsterdam, and traveled all over the world. Just did you just go to Australia? That was like
Well, that was a little while ago.
that was a little while
But
ago.
I just got back from where was I? I was in Bratislava. First of all, thank you for the compliments. Appreciate you, man. I was in Amsterdam. I was in.
I mean,
Over.
it's this guy. As long as I've known Rob, and I've known Rob probably around 25 years now, he is just the ultimate person. When I say, "What is your Zen?" and find your Zen beauty in life, you're looking at him right here because this is somebody here who paved his way in his own journey from everything that he wanted to do, from internally with music as a young child to producing to performing to having bands to really performing in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people worldwide. And how does that feel? What does that feel like? How do you find your Zen when you're on stage in front of all those people?
Oh, dude, I found my zen. I mean, it just honestly, it just comes like from the music, and also from the energy I feel like from my fans. I mean, like I throw it out there, and they give it back to me, and I give it back to them, and it's just like one big zen party for that hour and a half I'm on.
It's just an incredible exchange of energy,
Oh,
right?
dude, incredible exchange of energy.
Now, is the energy different throughout the world?
Uh, I mean, there's different vibes, with different cultures, of course, like definitely when I'm in, like, say, in like down South America or even like, say, Italy and Spain, I would say they're a bit more passionate, like a lot of people might even like cry a little bit, like happy tears, of course, whereas like up in Northern Europe, like, oh, don't get me wrong, they fucking love you and it's awesome, but, you know,
So
more,
for those of you that really don't know too much about like what we're even talking about, we're talking about a hardcore legend here, a pioneer in the hardcore industry, like Rotterdam techno and hardcore and all. Like I don't know too much about all
Yeah.
the different subgenres of that.
oh, there's so many different subgenres
Right, that's
now.
what I mean, because it's just exploding into genre from genre from genre, but it's all just basically comes from the heart and from what you're.
Especially me, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, because like, I mean, I still just use the word gabber. I mean, that works for me.
Gabber, right.
But hardcore techno, someone just drop the techno and use hardcore. I mean,
But there's so many different subgenres within the hardcore.
Oh, yeah,
itself, because
absolutely.
you're remixing, all these different songs.
Totally.
Within that hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, within the subgenres of hardcore, I mean, you got up tempo, you got French core, you got this core, you got that core. But my personal music, like which comes from the heart, as you were saying, comes a lot from my love of old school hip hop from the '80s, as far as my love for metal. So you hear a lot of guitar as well as the hip hop vibe in there. Of course, you got the boom 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 of the 909. But I never follow the trend. I do what I feel and I put it out there.
Yeah, that's a real artist, you actually can't make music for the people. You have to make music for yourself. And
Yeah.
Rick Rubin
I was
said
just
that.
going to say Rick Rubin said that.
Rick Rubin said that, and you have to quote him because obviously, but he said that, and it's very important that the artist makes music for themselves because you're doing yourself a real good justice when you focus on the internal of where the energy really comes from.
Well, Rick Rubin.
Getting back to Rick Rubin. Is he made a statement, and look, a lot of people like to make music for the fans, but when you start doing that, you start to lose fans because you're not going from what's internal.
Right, because let's just talk about Rick, because Rick is one of my idols when it comes to production. What he said is like when you made your first hit, you weren't giving a fuck. You just did what you wanted and it happened to become a hit. Too many artists get caught up in trying to find that formula, if you want to call it, which I don't believe in. And they keep chasing that instead of just doing whatever the fuck you like, and perhaps the crowd's gonna love it.
Do you play a lot of your productions, obviously?
Oh, absolutely,
all the time, right?
Yeah, in my sets, I do. I would say 80 to 85% all my productions. Maybe about like
and then
10.
You sprinkle in some other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, I just wanted to introduce you to Rob G. He's a legend, and we're in a salon right now. Thank God I'm friends with the one here, Robert Palumbo.
That's right. We love Rob.
We love Rob.
We love
Rob's
Rob.
amazing. But stick around, stay tuned. We're going to talk some more Zen coming down the road.
What's your Zen?